What a patriotic message which came in from Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla. It was only 1964 last when we had an Indian in space, a Tiranga in space, and that feat today has been repeated. Yes, we are talking about Rakesh Sharma, followed now by Captain Subhanshu Shukla. Let me go across to Shreya, who's joining us. Shreya, what a moment it has been for every Indian. A billion dreams, literally, and prayers coming true with this successful liftoff. And I believe everyone just can't keep calm.
Absolutely. It is not a moment to keep calm, Meghna. This is a proud, proud moment for the country and the world. And while we sing to the tune of Jai Hind and Jai Bharat, let me also quickly tell you that Axiom has shared the playlist that these 4 astronauts were listening to, the songs they were listening to while this liftoff was happening. They've shared an update. Look at this. The Commander Peggy Whitson, who is from America, had chosen Thunder by Imagine Dragons band. Our own Captain Subhanshu Shukla had chosen Swadesh's song Yun Hi Chala Chal. You know, that Shah Rukh Khan starrer where there's a guy who comes back from America to serve his country, to contribute to his country's development. That is a song that Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla had chosen. We've also got Supermost by Igor Mruzo and Vito Bambino. This is, of course, by mission specialist from Poland, Swolos. And the Hungarian mission specialist had chosen Bjovleli. This is a song by Quimby Gabor and Tamaz and Gabor Subiz. So, you know, every country has a specific fervor, has a specific sentiment attached to this kind of a moment. And of course, we had our own Indian, second Indian who's gone into space, listening to Swadesh's song Yun Hi Chala Chal, perhaps really reflecting the kind of journey that has now begun at the International Space Station.
And isn't it absolutely apt that he was listening to Swadesh's Yun Hi Chala Chal? Swadesh, look at the symbolism behind this beautiful pic, isn't it? Well, of course, this is exciting to hear. There's Shreya, do stay on with us. Look at these visuals which are coming in, and it's important for us to take a look at the moment of liftoff, because that's the moment which gave us all goosebumps. Let's take a step back. Look at that moment when the Dragon took off in this cloud of mist. But before that, I believe we have Union Minister Jitendra Singh's soundbite. Congratulations coming in.
Space agency ISRO was established in the year 1969 when NASA landed first human being on the surface of the moon called Neil Armstrong. But today we landed on the southern pole of moon through Chandrayaan before anybody else, and today we are collaborating with NASA in an equal measure, in an equal platform. So India is no longer a follower, it is actually an equal partner. And let me also put it on record that Subhanshu Shukla, the Indian member of the crew, is going to be the most crucial component of this entire mission, which is going to last about 2 weeks or so. It might be plus minus, because he's the pilot and he's going to perform 7 exclusive experiments which have been designed by India, which have been, the kits have been provided by India. I'm glad to say 2 or 3 of those kits by the Department of Biotechnology. We have entered into a formal MOU with ISRO, between the ISRO and the DBT. Then there are kits provided by some of the IITs, kits provided by the Indian...
Well, of course, you just heard Jitendra Singh talking about India's space exploration. This is just the beginning. Remember, next is going to be Gaganyaan, India's own indigenous manned human mission. But first, let's look at this proud moment when the Dragon took off from India to infinity and beyond, is what we are calling it here on Times Now. The Tiranga shoots into the space. Watch this moment.
Now, at this point, we are just
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
For 3 nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX4.
T+30 seconds into flight with the Axiom 4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. Waiting to hear call-outs from the Falcon 9 engineering team.
Power and telemetry nominal. Stage 1 throttle down.
We're throttling down the 9 Merlin engines. We're into the throttle bucket, preparing for max Q.
Max Q. Vehicle is supersonic.
We should begin throttling the Merlin engines back up now.
Stage 1 throttle up.
Mission Control confirming
Stage 1 Bravo.
that throttle up, and we
Copy
are
1 Bravo.
hearing our commander Peggy Whitson call out the first abort mode. Each of these are a specific phase where if for any reason we had an in-flight
Impact
abort,
show underway.
Dragon would abort to a safe location. So we're going to call out each of those milestones as we pass through them. We also just heard the call out for MVAC chill. We're going to trickle just a little bit of liquid oxygen now into the turbo pumps on board our Merlin vacuum engine on stage 2 in preparation for second engine start 1, which will of course be shortly after stage separation. Now at this point, we are just about 30 seconds away from 4 events that are going to happen in rapid succession. The first one will be main engine cutoff, or MECO, then again followed by stage separation, ignition of that second stage engine, which we are already
Stage
preparing
1,
for, as well as the first stage's boost back burn. With that confirmation from Mission Control that we are throttling the first stage engines down, we are expecting MECO at T+2 minutes and 26 seconds.
Well, this is indeed a momentous occasion. The liftoff has happened, and well, the Dragon is on its way now to the International Space Station. We're currently joined by our guest, Dr. V.N. Jha, Senior Scientist and former Joint Director, DRDO, as well as Mr. Mahesh Murthy, the founder of Exceed Space. Mr. Jha, coming to you first and foremost, how does this particular mission, the Axiom 4 mission, now serve as a prelude to our own manned mission to space, Gaganyaan? What are some of the lessons that we'll expect to draw from the success of this particular mission, sir? Mr. Jha, if you could unmute yourself, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, please go ahead.
Compliments for the successful launch of the mission. Our astronaut is up there in the orbit. And on this behalf, I really compliment the entire nation, ISRO, for the coming Gaganyaan mission, to which Group Captain Shukla will be giving a lot of feedback of his captaining he's piloting the spacecraft into the International Space Station. Well, this was a crucial moment. Things happen in very quick successions. But, you know, like our PSLV, which is the workhorse of ISRO, this Falcon 9 engine is the workforce of SpaceX. It has gone so many times, and they have done so much of automation, innovation into this particular rocket. The first stage of the engine that comes back to the same place where it was launched for, by and large. And then the second stage of the rocket that takes the spacecraft into the orbit, it injects there, and then the second stage separates. Thereafter, the crew module is free there in the orbit. It is initially injected at about, say, 200 odd kilometers of the AMSL from the Earth's surface. And then it will continue in that orbit for some time till all the parameters are stabilized. And then subsequently, maybe after many hours, it will start maneuvering. The captains or the automated system will start maneuvering it towards the space station. That is at about 420 odd kilometers. It all varies on different days, exactly what is the altitude. So that will be happening. And the crew module, which we call it the Crew Dragon, into which all the space astronauts are right now sitting, that will be going in the front of the International Space Station. And then gradually slow down, gradually decelerate to come and interface with the International Space Station. So these are the very tricky things. This entire flight will last about 28, 29 hours.
Yes.
By the time it talks. So wish them all the best, that everything goes absolutely perfectly. We know it is entirely computerized system, but still the pilot in command is in that loop of the computerization. Wish them the very best for docking.
Mr. Murthy, I'll speak to you about some of the technicalities associated with the mission as well, and about 10 experiments that have been specifically designed by ISRO to be undertaken aboard the International Space Station. But before that, I just want to ask you a question about the symbolism of this all. One could not miss what Axiom had just put out a short while ago on its social media handle, where it talked about the playlists of each of the astronauts on board. And as far as Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla was concerned, it was Yun Hi Chala Chal Rahi from the film Swades. Now, that's very symbolic indeed, because the protagonist in Swades not just returns from the United States to serve his motherland, he actually quits NASA and returns to India. So there was obviously a message in that as well, purely in terms of symbolism and what it actually means for the future missions of India to space. How significant is this particular moment, sir?
I think you're right about those symbolisms. The other symbolism is in the Yun Hi Chala Chal, which is, while this is good, this is a great moment for India. It should not be forgotten that we are just a passenger on this ship, in the sense 280 people from 24 countries have already gone onto the International Space Station. We're the 23rd country, and we're going along for the ride. But there are important things to remember. If all of this is a prelude to Gaganyaan, right, which is supposed to come 2-3 years hence, I think the key thing, 2 or 3 things to remember here are, look, Group Captain Shukla would not have been able to go into space without a public-private partnership, right? So Axiom is a private company with about $500 million in revenues. We have paid them about 600 crores to send Shukla to space. All right, which is probably more than what we've earned in any 1 year from all the satellites that we've launched. So, one, it's important to build our private space capability. Second, it's important to build international linkages. I mean, so far, ISRO has largely been, we'll do it ourselves. And today, after 1984, after 41 years and 1 month or 2 months, we're putting a human back in space after Rakesh Sharma, right? And the third thing is to really understand the value of the science experiments that are happening there. And I think that's the third point out there. Space is really the next frontier. We need to be able to do these 3 things: international collaboration, private-public partnerships, and the pursuit of science. And those are the 3 lessons I would take from this going into Gaganyaan.
Absolutely. We'll come back to our guests in just a short while. A moment of enormous significance, this. And Group Captain Subhanshu Shukla had this to say once, of course, the liftoff had taken place. Let's listen to the message that he sent out to his countrymen and the rest of the world.
नमस्कार मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, what a ride. 40 साल बाद हम